Hey, this is me building and strategizing my 400k per year profit solo consulting business right in front of your eyes. And what you're watching right here is a daily video series that follows the exact same framework every single day. I always start by answering your questions. This means that if you have any questions, you can ask your question down below, and then I'll answer your question in tomorrow's video. Then I run you through my business stats, which is basically just me filling out this sheet every single day for cash, revenue, cost, and also the social growth of my channels. Then I'm running through my to-do list, so what I did today and what I'll do tomorrow. And then last but not least, I'll do some live strategy on how I'm planning to get to $1 million a year in personal profit while only taking calls 3 days a week and operating my business at 85% margins. If you're new here, I've already scaled 2 of my own previous coaching businesses to more than 100k per month, but this time I want to do it a little bit differently. So this is the daily updates channel you're currently watching. What I always do is that I head into community, and then I basically just find a question or a comment that I haven't interacted with, and then I answer it. So for example, from Joseph here, that says, "Hey Fred, thanks for the video. I'm comfortable making long form content, but I feel like I'm missing out on exposure and leads from short form. Could you share your process for writing short form content compared to long form? It feels completely different to me so far." Good question, bro. And I would say that if you have a strong long form presence, you definitely want to double down on short form, because it is a good way of getting more top of funnel. It's a good way of reaching new people. So you should definitely do it, bro. And also because for me, when writing content, for example, I have like a priority list in a sense, because I don't have the time to make separate group content, separate LinkedIn post, separate Instagram stories, separate Instagram reels, separate YouTube videos, separate Twitter post, whatever it might be that your content strategy looks like. So what I try my best to do is that I always create program content for my clients, and then I repurpose that into YouTube videos, for example, or Instagram reels, depending on my content flow and schedule. And then I repurpose that to Instagram stories and make it into snippets. So I think, bro, what you want to do is that you want to start taking the things that you're good at and like the winning elements of your YouTube content, and then like start building it into Instagram reels. So I think a YouTube video, right, is like, it's a longer form video with like more free flowing, and there are like multiple parts to a YouTube video. So like the intro is of course incredibly important, right? And then like the rest of the video kind of like have to follow up on what's promised in the intro. And then a call to action in the end. And then in a long form video, you also want like multiple different call to actions throughout the video, so that you make the most of the people watching, right? For short form, bro, the framing is of course very much different, since it's a short piece of content. So I think, bro, always start with like the goal of the video is like, what do you want people to leave this short form piece of content with? I think a lot of people, they try to say too much in their videos, when in reality it should just be around one thing, and then like backtrace it, write it out. For me, I never really follow any frameworks or anything, because I just write from the heart, kind of. That sounds a little bit fluffy and it's a terrible advice, but and then once I've written everything out, then I make the hook. And typically the hook is like, for me, when I write, the best hook that I make typically comes through 7 or 8 lines in, and then I put the hook at the beginning. My scripts, bro, is around 150 to 200 words, depending on how long I want the video to be. And I always try to speak from my own experience. So I think, bro, don't overthink your short form content too much. What I would do, bro, if I were you, if I were to like put it into an actual guide for you, I would find 5 to 10 people in your niche, bro, and not even your niche, but just like 5 to 10 people where you really like their short form content. And then I want to like find their best performing videos. And when I say best performing, bro, there are many ways that a video can perform, right? There is views or comments or interaction, but there's also just like how you enjoyed watching the video. And of course it's hard to track how you felt watching the video and how much sales the video contributed to. But like, I can see from the people that is in the same industry as me, maybe they have content pieces with like millions of views or a bunch of virality, but I don't want the people that, like, I don't want the masses as they want the same thing. I want my audience to be very niched. So I maybe take some elements from those videos that has gone viral, and then I tweak it into my own hook or my own body, so to say. So I think, bro, once you have the best performing and these 5 to 10 people, then you just want to write, like, I would say probably just like 4 to 5 things that you want to be known for. So like 4 to 5 topics that you talk about recurring. And then you just want to write from these people in these topics. You want to start writing some scripts, bro. And then it's basically just about recording and rolling out. So I think, bro, the only way that you become good at it is just by doing it. And if you can script long form, you can definitely script short form too, bro. So I think don't sweat it too much, man. Just run it up. I hope you're doing well, brother. And Vince says, hey, that's me. Basically me making a video about Vince going from 0 to 100K. And yeah, and it is true. The guy has 335 subscribers on YouTube and he makes 6 figures a month. That's the power of building the right audience with the right content. Been a beautiful journey and fun time working together, man. Thank you as always. Wouldn't have been possible without you. Thank you, bro. And guys, be on the lookout for the podcast. It will be an absolute blast of a journey. Expect deep dives into info, fundamentals, theses that both Fred and I run and share, and good convos. I agree. I am making a podcast with Vince. It will be 1 weekly episode. I would probably say around like 1 hour to maybe 2 hours if we're yapping a lot. Both Vince and I like to talk, obviously. So 1 weekly episode where we'll just dive into info, fundamentals, and everything that Vince just basically shared here. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I feel like the space is missing it. I'm very selfish in that sense. I just create something that I would like to watch, and if there's nothing, then I'll just create it myself, because then I kind of know that there's market fit for it, right? Then we have Corey. I hope I said it correct. Hi there, bro. I'm 17 and I have a brand called Alco Tech Sport, UK based. I genuinely would love your advice on what I can do to truly make it my career. I'm still in education and do pretty well, but I would much rather run my own business than go to university. Any advice is much appreciated. Just trying to get as much info as possible. Well, shall we see here? I don't know if it's a coaching business or like an activewear or what it can be. So I'm just looking it up here. So it seems like it is grip socks. Brother, I'm so sorry. I have no clue on e-commerce or anything. So I'm definitely not the best guy at looking at like how you can build that business up, bro. But at the same time, I still want to give you an answer because I think it's very cool that you're 17 and starting your own business. It's in e-com. Like any business model works. It's just about the thing that you put your blood, sweat, and tears into and aligns with what kind of company you want to run. So well done, bro. I would say, bro, if I were you and building an e-commerce business, I would also build your own personal brand of you building the e-commerce business. I think founder-led marketing is without a doubt one of the most powerful things that the whole market will crave moving forward. We've seen it a lot with George Heathen and Represent. It's insane how the brand is like, it could of course operate on its own and it did amazing, but then George starting to become like almost like the embodiment of it by living what he preaches and what the brand stands for, and now it's that full circle moment, which is very cool. So I think, bro, start documenting your journey of building Alco Tech Sport, which is your e-commerce brand, because that will give you a bunch of like goodwill and storytelling. It will get you buyers and purchases from your audience that will buy from your products, but it will also set you up for a lot of success personally if you share your story and building in public. That's what I would do, brother. So I wish you all the best, man. It's very cool. Just keep it up, bro. You're 17. I started my business when I was 22, and like now I'm almost turning 26, and I feel like I've just begun, so I can't imagine what it's like starting at 17. So well done, man. That's incredible. Then the next thing we have on the to-do list here is business stats, right? So I track the growth of my social channels, both YouTube, Instagram, and this daily update channel. So on my daily updates, we're at 467, and my main YouTube channel is currently on 4,000. No, I always say 4,000, 6,496. So let's run it here. There we go. 6,496, right? Not a single sub gain. Come on. And then IG, bro, this IG tracking is insane, right? Like we've tracked for 100 days, and I've grown or added 99 followers. It's incredibly bad, but of course I'm not in business to be famous, or of course I track my growth numbers like social accounts wise, but it's not that I don't really care about them. I only care about my cash revenue and cost, which is the reflection of attracting the right people versus many people, right? But it may be also just be me coping about the fact that it's that my channels is not growing, you know. All right, for revenue and cash here, I know for a fact that I spent $250 on Slack yesterday because it almost gave me a heart attack when I received the notification. But it's of course because I have a Slack workspace with like 19 people in it, me and my 18 clients. So that's why the bill is so big. But I think I've been running it for like the actual workspace. I've been running it for like 3 months because I transitioned from an old one into a new one, and then in Slack you always get the first 3 months at like half the price, and that's over now. So let's just take my WAP to see how much money I made yesterday. Yesterday was a 5,088 day on WAP, and I actually also got a bank transfer from a client from 3.15k. So let's add it up here so it's actually precise. Plus 3,163. So 8,251 yesterday. 8,251, and also the same in cash collected. So obviously a pretty good day yesterday, only considering also client renewals only. So we're at 38k for the month. It is the 17th of August. I think it will slow down a little bit now, because again, I'm not bringing on any new clients, so it's just payment plans that I'm collecting, and that basically that is the only way that I make money from existing clients, right? And installments, renewals, up or down sales from people that I'm already working with. And it's slowing down here end of month, I can see, because I of course do a forecast every month in terms of how much I expect to make and also spend, so that I always know my personal financials, of course. Very nice to-do list. It's Sunday today, so today's been pretty chill. I like to spend my Sundays on like a podcast and like reading and writing and these things. So I wrote some content and some stuff for my program, and then I also just like, I like to spend my Sunday on like, I wouldn't say procrastinating, that's not the right word, but it's more like, it's very light work in a sense of like just like listening and learning and writing ideas and scheduling some projects that I want to do, of like maybe bigger YouTube videos or stuff like that. So Sundays without a doubt my favorite day of the week, because I just get to like completely chill. I also did like one round of answering all clients on Slack in the morning, just to like get that out of my chest, off my shoulders, whatever you want to say. So yeah, pretty cool. And then for strategy today, I thought that we might as well have a video, or like I create a video here about like how to actually build a program, because I spend a lot of time on actually building my program, and I've bought a lot of programs, and there's a lot of programs that I've finished, but there's also a lot of ones that I haven't, and there are some that I was really happy about and some that I thought was shit. So I want to walk you through how I'm kind of like building my program, so that you can maybe learn something, so that you can do too. Because I think courses and programs, it's not like they have like a negative sound to them, but at the same time it's like a little bit looked down upon if you only sell a course. So it's like, oh, you just get 20 hours of video or whatever. Obviously I sell a one-on-one mentorship, which means that I always have some direct involvement with the clients. So that's also how I've like built this program in mind. It's that it like 90% of the time it can be a standalone product, but it's at the same time it's also built with in mind that the people are working with me on a one-on-one basis, either as a mentorship client over 4 months, or in a group community with a personal kickoff call with me, or just a kickoff call. So it's like, that's also how the way that I've built it. So the way that you should always structure a program, right, is that you should have a kind of like a transformation in mind. The most important thing is like the destination. So where you want people to be when they've actually finished your program. And then once you have that, then you basically just want to reverse engineer that into like somewhat of a roadmap here, okay? Then once you build out like the initial roadmap, so like taking someone from A to B and what are all the steps in between, then you start making written guides. So it's just like a bunch of text. It's a lot. It's like basically I'm just like I'm forcing myself to write down every single thing that I know about a certain topic, because then I can always cut bits and pieces out. Because here it also becomes a question of, do you want to give people only the implementation, or do you want to give them all the reasons to why they should implement? Do you want to like really break things down in nitty gritty so that the level of understanding increases for your clients? Because I think for some niches and programs, implementations is a lot better. For example, let's say that you work with people in fitness. Like a lot of people, they don't need to understand the beneficials of eating fruit, right? They just need fruit on their meal plan, and then they'll probably eat it because it's on there. So I think it's about accepting who your audience is, and the way that I run my brand and the people that I want to attract is heavily built on the things that I know, and like my own achievements, and also the things that I've personally done, and that comes from a high level of understanding what I do, because I don't have millions of followers, I don't have a large audience. I build everything from scratch by being really good at customer journeys, content, ads, tracking, decision making, offers, etc. So what I'm focusing on is making the course extremely in depth, because my whole goal is that if people can just get the same understanding that I have, then hopefully they can make the same decisions as I do, and then hopefully they can get a business that is equally as good as mine. So yeah, once you've built out the text, turned it into like in-depth guides, focus on whatever your goal is. Mine is understanding, right? Then you of course want to turn the visual text that you've now made into models. So if you have because you can clearly see when you're writing that you have a certain way of interpreting or understanding something. So you can take that understanding and then to hopefully see if you can turn it into something visual. So what I do is that I have a graphic designer. So like once I've written something out, I'm like, how can I illustrate this? So I come up with a rough outline in my own mind, and then with notes I send it to my graphic designer, and then he builds something that I can then use for the video program, right? Once you have the text and the models, then you of course have a finished guide, and then you do the recording. The way that I always do it is that I just do it through Loom or Tela or whatever software that you want to use. And then in the guide on School, there is like a video embedded with me walking through the guide, or it's just a full guide in full written format with the visual models. So either people can always go in there and all the resources are there for copy pasting, or they can watch the video if they want me that explains the entire video program. And then you just continue this process, and then you basically have a finished product, right? So that is how I go about it. The whole goal is to make sure that people, of course, understand, right? So there's knowledge. Then there is also making sure that it's like step by step, right? So there is because all information is available out on the internet. I don't fully agree with that. I used to say that, but I don't agree on it. I really don't, because mine is so heavily built on ideas and philosophy, and I'm the only person that has these ideas and philosophy. Yeah, you can learn how to set up a Facebook ad account everywhere, but that's not a good course in my opinion. That's just nonsense. That's ChatGPT questions, you know. So make sure that knowledge. That's what I focus on, step by step. Then of course visuals. Most people are visual learners, so I try to just make sure that I can kind of take good care of that, straight fact. And then the way that I build all of my levels in my program is with checklists. So there will be a lot of visual models, a lot of knowledge, a lot of information, and then at the end of every level there's a checklist for people to have I now completed this level so that I can get to the next one. And there's a checklist there of hey, if it's for example content foundations, there's a checklist for every single video or post that you need to have in place, and with a step-by-step guide on how to get that post. Because if every person that I work with fill out go through the entire course, check off every single checklist in every single level, I cannot see a world where they don't get an incredibly good experience and a 10x return over time with their business, with underlining over time here, because we're not in business I'm not here to scale my clients fast. Of course, if people are ready for it, then I'm always ready to go fast as well. I've went from 0 to 100K a month with my last coaching business in 8 months, starting with 900 followers on Instagram. So I know how to run fast because I did it in Germany 4 months later in 4 months. But yeah, it's this is how I want to build a program. That's basically just it that I'm trying to say. So I hope it made a good sense in today's video. I will hit the gym now. I have cardio, so that I can be a little more shredded. And it's tough out here, you know. And then I'll hit the sauna, and then I'm done for the day. I'll maybe watch a movie or something, but we'll see. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you tomorrow.